You hear me? Pardon me, if I can have everybody's attention, if you guys can make your way to the front, we're going to begin the program shortly. Thank you.
Media test, check 1 2, check 1 2. Media test for the cameras. I see 1 thumbs up, 2 thumbs up. Oh, everybody's got a thumbs up. I'm good. Thank you.
All right, last call. Everybody, please take your seats. You know what? The media is going to look here, and we're going to see like empty seats, even though they're not going to see that there's all these people in the back all talking. So come and please fill up these seats. Part of it's about the visual. Come on down. We're going to start. You can ignore me, but you can't ignore, November is coming regardless of anything. We can't push off that election date. So come on down, fill some of these seats. It's like church. Don't be afraid to be in the front pew. Please. That or the minister's going to call you out if you don't follow instructions. So come on down, everybody. You've had a chance to eat and drink. Come on down. I know that the Democrats take orders much better than Republicans. We're a lot of free spirits, but please just bear with us and come on down. I know none of you were paid to show up today, unlike the guys yesterday that all got their gift cards for $75 and a bus ride. Come on down, guys. Come on, fill up the seats. There we go. I see a stream of folks. I appreciate those of you who actually can pay attention. Come on down. Hey, at least we got you in the shade and everything. You're not out under the sun. You don't burn like I would, my Irish background. Yeah, Lupe Castillo, congressional candidate. Please come up front, please. You're not 6'7". We're having trouble finding you. Lupe, please come forward. Would actually all congressional candidates, if you could go, please meet back to my left so we can put you across the stage. All congressional candidates back to my left here so we can get through this and make it orderly. Last call for all congressional candidates. All right, Frank.
Hello, everyone. How are we doing out there? Oh, yeah. Feel that energy. I'm Frank Lesko. I'm currently your Sangamon County recorder, and I am now your state Senate candidate for the 48th District. You are in the 48th District, so welcome, everyone. My gosh, I love that energy. I love seeing all these faces out there smiling and happy. We got a beautiful day. God blessed us with that. So did everybody get their card when they came in? Do you guys have your card? Did they not give the cards out? Oh, no. All right. Well, it's instructions for winning in the fall election. And here's the instruction. If you want to write this down and repeat it back to me, all right? Win. Let's hear it again. Win. Win. Absolutely. We're going to do that. I tell you what, I have been walking door to door. I've been talking to people, knocking on doors. They're ready for a change. They want to see some common sense in our government, and especially in Illinois. Thank you. But every time when I leave, They point at me and they say, win. So what's our word? What's our word? All right. We're ready right now. Let's bring Chaplain Joel up, and he's going to bless us, and we'll get rolling with the program. God bless you, folks. Remember to vote Let's Go on November 3rd. Thank you.
Our dearest Heavenly Father, we come to you today to honor you. We also recognize your providence and ask that you bless all that are gathered here and the food that we are enjoying. Your word in 1 Timothy 2 tells us and directs us to pray for our leaders in authority that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in godliness and honesty. So in this prayer, we lift up to your attention Darren Bailey, Aaron Del Mar, Diane Harris, Bob Fioretti, Max Solomon, Brian Drew, and Don Tracy, and so that they may receive your blessings and discernment in each of their respective positions. We also include all of our representatives in Congress, state legislature, judiciary, county, city, and local governments. We ask your blessings and direction for all of them so the rest of us can enjoy the peaceful and prosperous lives that comes with your gifts of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We especially want to bring your attention to those who are becoming tired of the seemingly endless election responsibilities. We're reminded of your direction in the promise of Galatians 6:9 that says, you tell us, do not become weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we not faint. So we honor your supreme authority and look forward to the possibility of everlasting life supplied to us through your Son, Jesus. And it's in his mighty name that we believe and receive your blessings, direction, and protections. All who wish to join this prayer may be added as authors by declaring amen. Amen. Now, it's my honor to introduce to you our next speaker, but I will tell you there are folks that believe that there's going to be a red wave this coming November. I think it's good. I don't think we're going to have a red wave. I think we're going to have a red tsunami. Because, as chaplain, I have discovered that every person on our ticket, from top to bottom, are faith-filled, Bible-reading, and believing Christians. And God is in this election. And he doesn't get in elections for fun. He gets in to win. So we'll follow Frank's reference of winning. So please welcome our congressional candidate, Jeff Wilson.
Hey, everybody. God bless America. All right, fellow patriots, please rise as the colors are being presented. All right, a beautiful scene. So please join with me in pledging our allegiance to the flag of the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. All right, hallelujah. So it's my great pleasure to introduce a wonderful friend of mine, Rhonda Belford. She's a National Committee woman, and she's going to sing God Bless America. Oh, the national anthem. And God Bless America anyway.
We can do that, but it's my privilege to lead you all, and I expect you to sing along with our national anthem in honoring our 250th anniversary. Let's join in together. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? God bless you. God bless the state of Illinois, and God bless America. Thank you so much. Thank you for presenting the colors. Let's give them another round of applause and thank them for their service. Now it's my distinct privilege to introduce to you our state party chairman for the Illinois GOP, Mr. Bob Grogan.
I know we're trying to make sure that we can be heard all the way in the back. We got an overflow crowd, so we're doing the best we can. I want to thank everybody for coming out here today. I will say that I started coming out to the Republican Day at the State Fair back as a YR, which seems like a lifetime ago. It is an important tradition here. It's not just for downstate; it's for Republicans across the entire state of Illinois. I'm just going to say one little thing here because it's not about me; it's about the candidates. What we're up against is it's common sense versus communism. It really is, folks. I want you to challenge, if you ever are one-on-one, 10-on-1, whatever it is, with a Democratic candidate, a Democratic activist, just ask them this question. Are you a capitalist? Do you believe in capitalism? And watch them go humana, humana, humana. They are not going to be able to respond to that. There is a wave going through, unfortunately, on the other side that is so anathema to everything that we believe. It's what, capitalism built this country. And we need to get our folks into office. Look, the other side, they actually believe that humans are an invasive species. They believe that criminals are the actual victims, and they believe America is the problem with the world. Well, there's a
focusing on just hopefully winning one more congressional seat at the least here. We've got 3 seats out of 17. Our state is incredibly gerrymandered, which you all know, and been trying to take my efforts as national committeeman to bring efforts and focus on these congressional races. So we've got some great candidates up here. I think we can win more than one. So if we can give the support to these candidates, I want to introduce them real quick, but we've got Jim Martyr in the 14th Congressional. We got Jennifer Davis in the 8th Congressional.
Lupe Castile in the 4th Congressional, Jeff Wilson in the 13th Congressional, and then Jeff Walter in the 11th. And we also have several others that weren't able to make it here today, so we've got a great lineup, and just again really appreciate all the hard work. We're missing Dylan Vansel. He is here. I don't know if he might have had to leave. He had to leave. Yeah. So yeah, Dylan is not here, but wanted to thank you all. Thank you all. So yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
And next up, we have a hometown favorite who actually was also one of my predecessors at the state party as chairman, who has carried, as they say in Republican circles, has carried a lot of water for the elephant, which, is an important part of, the only way that things happen is we actually all have to work together. And it's the party, it's the campaigns, it's the grassroots, it's the, other issue organizations, all of that. And Don Tracy has worked with them all. And he's right here out of, your local favorite son. And he has a great chance of actually taking back a seat that has evaded us for a long time, for too long. Don Tracy, everybody.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming out today. More important, thank you for not giving up on Illinois. Thank you, Chairman Grogan, for the kind introduction. Illinois has given America some of its greatest leaders, including Abraham Lincoln. I'm very proud to practice law, to be a lawyer at the same law firm that Lincoln first practiced law at. But no, I didn't actually practice law with Lincoln. I just practiced at the same firm. Lincoln believed that government existed to serve the people, not the other way around. But somewhere along the line, Illinois forgot that and now seems to serve special interests more than Illinois serves the people. And to make matters worse, some of our government officials now seem to believe more in self-service than public service. My opponent, Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, is a career politician seeking a promotion to the U.S. Senate. Although I have significant political experience, at my stage in life and career, I don't think being a career politician is even an option for me. I am the oldest of 12 children. I'm guessing my mom and dad truly believed that it was cheaper by the dozen to raise children. And looking back, then it seemed like it was. Every now and then, someone would ask my mom, "How do you keep from losing your mind raising 12 children?" And I heard her say, "If you get the first one right, the rest are easy." Remember, I'm the firstborn? Unfortunately, I've never been able to sell that to my 11 brothers and sisters. And in fact, the youngest, with the improbable name of Dick Tracy, my brother Dick, he likes to say, "Mom and Dad kept having kids until they finally got a good one." Anyway, my family, we have lived and experienced the American dream. I want every Illinoisan to have the opportunity to live and experience the American dream. Toward that end, I'm running for U.S. Senate to defend the American dream by reducing the cost of living for all Illinoisans, especially working families, and to champion common sense solutions in Washington, D.C., and to represent all of Illinois, not just Chicago. In saying the latter, I don't mean to imply I don't like Chicago. I love Chicago. It's one of the most beautiful, interesting, and powerful cities in the world, and I have a second home there. But I don't like its management. Mayor Johnson is, I don't like his approach to crime, taxation, personal responsibility, or education. And I also believe that Illinois is not just Chicago, and that the other 101 counties outside of Illinois, outside of Cook County, deserve representation statewide also. Don't you? Illinois is hurting today. Illinois people are hurting today. But Illinois is not hurting because of its great location, or its great lakes and rivers, or its great airports, or its great universities, or its great farmlands, or its great businesses. That is, the great businesses that haven't left us yet. No, Illinois is hurting because of the extreme positions my opponent and her Democrat socialist allies are taking and have taken in Illinois. Those are positions that discourage work and personal responsibility, undermine public safety, and drive businesses out of Illinois. As the U.S. Senator from Louisiana, Senator John Kennedy, likes to say, we Republicans are far from perfect, but the other side is flat out crazy. And I have to add to that, they're getting crazier. My Chicago opponent in this election, Lieutenant Governor Stratton, and her Democrat socialist allies like Mayor Mondami, Mayor Johnson, Bernie Sanders, Stacey Davis Gates, and the two Democrat socialists who just won their primaries for U.S. Senate in Michigan and Florida. They like to talk about the American dream, just like we like to talk about the American dream. Ladies and gentlemen, their American dream is different than ours. We believe in legal immigration. They're for open borders. We believe in law and order. They're for social justice, whatever that means, which I think means defunding police and letting career criminals run free. We believe in equal opportunity. They believe in equal outcomes. We believe in rewarding success. They want to redistribute success. We believe that fathers can help grow strong families. They think fathers are expendable and can easily be replaced by the nanny welfare state. We believe in welfare for the truly needy. They believe in welfare for all without sufficient anti-fraud guardrails. We believe in school choice. They and their special interest teacher union allies are opposed to school choice. We believe there are two genders. They think there may be up to 30. We believe in religious liberty. Some of them are godless. We believe in energy dominance. They believe in extreme environmentalism, no matter what the cost. And last but not least, we believe in voter ID and proof of citizenship when you register to vote. They're opposed to that. As you can see, their positions, my opponent's extreme agenda, are bad for Illinois and they're bad for this country. How do we defeat this? By doing what you're doing now and by being involved. So please work extra hard this fall. To recap, Illinois and the American dream are worth fighting for. We're not perfect, but the other side is flat out crazy. And if elected, I will represent you, not special interest. Let me leave you. I'm going to leave you with this. Tell all your friends, all your common sense friends, to vote this fall, early, in person, or by mail. And tell them to remember, if nothing else, remember this one thing. Keep it simple. Don't vote for crazy. Vote for Don Tracy. I'll introduce Diane. You got it? Yeah, Diane?
Yeah, I think Don's got it right. It's free markets versus free groceries. I don't know. There's a lot of farmers around here. I don't know how free groceries is going to play well in the rural areas. Next up, we have Diane Harris, running for Secretary of State. Now, what's fascinating about her opponent is that he's actually can't make up his mind that he actually wants to, reduce the lines at the DMV and actually serve the people of the state of Illinois. I think he'd prefer to be mayor of Chicago. He's already declared. He's doing commercials on it. So, you know what? we should reward him with his indecision by voting for Diane Harris.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So great to see so many people out today. But anyway, I am Diane Harris, candidate for Illinois Secretary of State. I am not running for mayor of Chicago. I'm seeking one office and for one purpose, and that is to serve the people of Illinois as your next Secretary of State, and for a full 4-year term. I will focus on the real responsibilities of this office and all the communities across our state. So therefore, there is no time to campaign but for one seat. As a small business owner, a former ComEd liability representative, and a trustee of both the Joliet Public Library and the Joliet Junior College, I have built my career on integrity, accountability, commitment, and making and achieving results. Thank you. Illinois deserves a Secretary of State fully dedicated to this office. So do not waste your vote on someone who is not committed to serving a full 4-year term. I am committed to doing exactly what the voters expect. My priorities from day one are clear. Improve customer service and expand access to Secretary of State services. Strengthen the integrity and security of commercial driver's licensing. And ensure CDL requirements are properly enforced to protect the industry and the safety of all drivers. Thank you. I will make government services faster and fair for everyone who relies on them. Public service means showing up, doing the work, and being accountable for the people who elect you to serve. That is my commitment to you. So I am Diane Harris, and I'm asking for your vote on early or November 3rd. Diane Harris for Illinois Secretary of State. God bless you. God bless the state of Illinois.
You know, we all know that the old Chicago saying, vote early and often. Well, you know, Republicans, we're just focused on the early part and preventing the often part from the other side, right? And in that regard, my next speaker, Bob Fioretti, has been fighting the socialists in the city of Chicago for probably, you know, lot longer than it's been on any of our radar. He's got a proven track record of actually accomplishments in the public sphere. And by the way, when was the last time you heard about actually public corruption prosecutions out of the Attorney General's office? You don't ever hear anything. They have to wait on the feds for everything. Bob Fioretti will bring integrity to that office. Bob Fioretti.
Good afternoon, everybody. Before I start my speech, I just want to say 4 things. I'm announcing my honorary committee today of Congressman Bost, Congressman Miller, and Congressman LaHood. I want to thank them for stepping forward for my race. Secondly, after this event today, come on and join us at Franny's, and we're having a small event. Third, I want to thank the Angel families in our state on what they've undergone because of what's happening from the Democrats. And finally, I want to thank the veterans who have served us, the first responders who have served us, and I want to introduce somebody. I know she's out there, Teresa Palmer. If you're out there, please come forward. Just wave. If you've seen Teresa, it is on today's date in 2017. Her son and 9 other, there she is, 9 other Americans who are serving our country were killed on the USS McCain. Thank you for all, and thank you for the sacrifice. You are a member of a club none of us want to be. Thank you. As I said, as I was introduced, I'm Bob Fioretti, and I'm running to be your Attorney General. Having served 2 terms in the Chicago City Council, I've seen what happens when powerful interests go unchecked. Illinois deserves better. We need an Attorney General who will actually fight for you. And as your Attorney General, I will fight for the common sense values that we all share here. Standing up for crime victims instead of violent criminals, for our citizens instead of illegal aliens, for parents instead of taxpayers, teachers' unions, and for taxpayers instead of corrupt politicians. And I will always stand, as I always have during my career, stand with law enforcement, because they risk their lives each and every day for our safety. Fighting for the people is what I've always done, and you heard it from Bob. Growing up on the south side of the city of Chicago in the Roseland-Pullman neighborhood, I learned early on at the kitchen table that if you do something wrong, there's going to be consequences. And I understood it then, and I understand it now. We need an Attorney General who understands accountability. I have the integrity, the legal experience, and the judicial knowledge to aggressively enforce the law. Illinois has a chance. Illinois has a chance to finally bring fresh leadership after 20 years of a Madigan and a Raoul in that office. And we need to reverse the Democratic philosophy on crime and what they've done to this state. And what is their philosophy? 1, the criminals are the good guys. 2, the police are the bad guys. And 3, victims don't matter. And with your help, we can do it. You know, as you all know, I'm up against, and so is everybody else, against well-funded incumbents. And they profit from the same special interests, and they profit, and those special interests profit from the same status quo as we see it. My pledge to you, as I stand here today, is I will protect our most vulnerable. I will root out corruption, and I will restore integrity to a government that has lost its way. Are you ready for safer streets? Are you ready for stronger communities? Are you ready for thriving businesses? Are you ready? We are fear ready. Help us get the word out, everybody. Thank you. God bless you all. God bless America. And God bless this great state of Illinois. Thank you.
I'm going to fix the mic. Yeah, just move some. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Good job. Sometimes it's the simplest things that are complicated, right? So our next up is Brian Drew. The comptroller's office is incredibly important. You know, if you don't know where the money goes, then we know where it goes. It goes into their pockets, right? And so we need somebody who can be a watchdog and hold them accountable. And honestly, that's what this entire ticket's about. It's about accountability. Brian Drew.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. My name is Brian Drew, and I'm running statewide for the Illinois Comptroller's Office. Thank you. You know, recently I had a fundraiser at a ballpark, and while I was there, it got me thinking about when I was young. When I was a kid, I got volunteered to be an umpire for Little League Baseball for free in my hometown. And looking back now, I think it was the beginning of my training to be in politics. Because nothing's going to thicken up your skin more than being a 14-year-old umpiring Little League with all the dads standing 6 feet behind you right against the fence, absolutely certain that every call you make is the reason that their kid's not going to go to the major leagues. And they're all treating it like it's the World Series. And I'm over here thinking, look, guys, I got to ride my bicycle home from here. Look, and something I learned very quickly there is when you're calling the balls and strikes, you're not going to make everybody happy. And it's natural for everyone to want the calls to all go their way. But what we all know is this: nothing works if the umpire starts choosing sides. And folks, let me tell you, it's time here in the state of Illinois that we have someone in Springfield who calls it like it is. Currently in the state, every single statewide office is held by one party. There's a supermajority in the legislature. They control every lever of government. And I hear a lot, oh, well, we have an auditor general. Well, guess what? That same supermajority appoints that auditor general. That's not checks and balances. We have to have someone there to call it like it is, folks. And when you look at this election comes down to one simple question. Who do you want to call it for you, the taxpayers? Because my opponent, in a now taken down video, said that she will always stand with JB. Then JB donated the maximum amount legally allowed into her campaign account. So the question is, when there's tough calls in Illinois government about where your money's going, whose side is she going to stand on? But I'll tell you this much, absolutely every single time, I'm standing on the side of the taxpayers. I've spent my life in courtrooms all over this state, from deep southern Illinois to Chicago to the Illinois Supreme Court. And I have people say, well, but you're a lawyer. This is the comptroller's office. Yes, it is. But it's not an accounting position. It's an accountability position. And that accountability starts with asking the questions and getting to the answers. Because let me tell you something, folks. I think it's time we put all the expenses here in the state of Illinois on trial, and we get you some answers. I guarantee you this. You give me the opportunity to go to Springfield, I will represent you, everyone. Because the fact of the matter is, when government wastes money, they don't waste Republican money, they don't waste Democrat money, they waste everyone's money. And as your next comptroller, I'm going to call out the waste. We're going to call out the fraud. But most importantly, we're going to call it like it is. Thank you so much. My name is Brian Drew, running statewide for comptroller. God bless you. God bless the state of Illinois.
One of our statewide candidates couldn't be here today, but I just wanted to make sure we didn't go by and not mention him. Max Solomon. He's out of the city of Chicago. He's an attorney. He's a minister. And he did one of the more remarkable things in politics. He got a write-in campaign successfully statewide. That doesn't happen without passion, and that doesn't happen without commitment from a lot of grassroots folks. So he's up there. Actually, he's in Chicago doing what we want him to do, which is fighting for votes in the city of Chicago. He couldn't be here, but I just wanted to mention Max because he's in our hearts as well and on our ballots when we vote. Next up, we have the House Minority Leader, Tony McCumbee. I will say when I first came into the chairmanship a very short 3 months ago, one of my goals is we need to start working together, all the different parts of the Republican Party, and working with Tony and then John Curran both is an important part of that because, you know, if we win the governor's mansion and don't pick up some seats in the House and the Senate, it's going to be even harder on all of our folks. So, Tony, come on up.
Thank you. Girls. Hey, ladies. Happy Republican Day. It is truly an honor to be here with all of you, even the people in the back that can't hear us, but we certainly, I saw a wave way back there, so appreciate that. And also here today, I'm not going to, we have some limit on time, so I can't announce all of my House Republicans that are here. But if you are here, please, I see C.D. Davidsmeyer, so you got your call out there. Please stand up and wave. Tom Weber is over there. Amy Ellick. I tell you what, the House Republicans, we work so hard, and it is a joy to serve all of you. The people, where's the cameras? All you folks back there always like to ask us questions like, you're in the super minority. What can you do? Well, this is what we do. We oppose and expose the Democrats crazy, and we hold them accountable. But ultimately, who has the power to hold government accountable? The media, the people, and the voters. For years, Illinoisans have been told, be patient. Be patient on your property taxes. Be patient on affordability. Be patient on corruption. Well, Illinois families have had enough. This summer, the summer of corruption has shown us exactly where the Democrat majority priorities are. Their goal is to protect themselves instead of protecting you, the people they serve. Representative Carol Ammons of Champaign is under federal indictment involving allegations of self-dealing with taxpayer dollars. She is the 7th Democrat federally indicted during my term. As well as her husband, Champaign County Clerk Aaron Ammons, who is still allowed today to be administering elections. Certainly no concerns there. Former Representative Harry Benton, found to have sexually harassed women, and Speaker Welch knew about the allegations. He did nothing and then spent $1.4 million to put that creep back in office. He got him reelected. And what did that do? It opened up the door for Harry Benton to harass more women. And then we learn the Speaker, who has said, if I can remind you all, when he became the Speaker of Illinois, it is a new day in Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. Well, he has decided to take his emojis that made that same 22-year-old woman uncomfortable, asked her to meet him at a bar and to communicate with him through Signal. That's an encrypted app. Yesterday, I heard an interview with some Democrats, and they said that the scandal was basically just a distraction. A distraction? Women being sexually harassed is not a distraction. Leadership knowing about it and failing to protect them is not a distraction. When accountability only applies to the other party, it isn't about accountability. It's political protection. And Illinois families, we are tired of it. We're tired of tightening our belts while Springfield Democrats continue to spend. We're tired of waiting for property tax relief, unless, of course, you're wealthy enough to remove all the toilets in your room or your house. They're tired of watching jobs leave while politicians continue to give themselves pay raises. And they're tired of politicians promising affordability while nickel-diming us to death with tax increases. But voters are also tired of politicians who only tell them what they're against. Let me tell you what we Republicans are for. We're for affordability, accountability, growth, and underneath it all, honesty. Illinoisans aren't asking for government to be perfect, but they're asking for something pretty basic. Tell the truth. Follow the rules. Take responsibility. Democrats have had all of the power, all of the money, and all of the time to fix Illinois. And what have we gotten? Monies, maps, and make-believe. funny money, a partisan map, and make believe it's failed policies wrapped in misleading press releases. Democrats may have the money, they may have the map, but they don't own the voters. We may not be able to outspend them, especially with Sugar Daddy in office, but we can outwork them. Knock the doors, make the calls, talk to your neighbors, support good candidates, and show up to vote. Illinois is our home. This is our home. Let's take back our state, and let's go win some seats in November. Thanks, everybody.
Next up, we have our Senate Leader, John Curran. I've known John and worked with him for actually a couple decades now up north. He is a man of integrity, and more importantly, he's a man that actually does his homework and gets things done. And I have really high hopes with his leadership and a lot of good effort. We're going to elect people like Frank Lesko and a lot of other senators around the state. John Curran.
Well, thank you, Chairman Bob Grogan. Thank you for bringing us together today on Republican Day. And how great would it be to elect Tony McCombie the next Speaker of the Illinois House? It's a lot easier to sit on the sidelines and complain than it is to show up and do the work. You, here today, are showing up to do the work to turn the state of Illinois around. So thank you for being here today. Our democracy was built on the foundation that everyday people would get involved in their government, that you would take control. But in these changing times, we know it's harder to engage the average citizen, to get them to pay attention, get them involved. That's why the work you do is more important than ever. While we have the most gerrymandered map in the country that has mapped us into the minority, the Senate Republicans are showing up every day to represent millions of Illinoisans in this state. And we are making a difference in our communities. My deputy leader, Senator Sue Resin's Safe Screens, Healthy Minds campaign has taken off to help promote policies to protect young people from the problems and dangers of social media. Thank you, Sue. You may also recognize another member of my leadership team, our floor leader in Springfield's own Senator Steve McClure. Steve's a former prosecutor who leads our floor debate, leads the fight against the crazy policies the Democrats bring forward in the Senate. So thank you, Steve. We also have another member of my leadership team here, Senator Terry Bryant. Where's Terry? Terry is a member of two of the most important committees we have, JCAR and the Senate and the Legislative Ethics Commission. And she is a tireless advocate for good, honest, clean government. So thank you, Terry. And we also have in our leadership team here today someone else that represents Central Illinois and parts of Sangamon County, Senator Sally Turner. Sally is a tireless fighter for Illinois families and has dedicated herself to protecting our farmers and farmland so we can continue to lead in feeding the world. Many of you know we've highlighted many times Senator Erica Harris, who beat an incumbent Democrat to flip a district in the Metro East. But not only did she campaign locally on lowering property taxes from her time on her county board in Madison County, she continues to fight for lower taxes, lower cost of living, all throughout the state of Illinois. So thank you, Erica. We have two of our newest senators, Senator Lee Arellano, a U.S. veteran, who as mayor of Dixon helped his community dig out of a massive financial crisis caused by corruption and abuse. Sound familiar? Well, Lee's fighting, bringing that same fight to the state of Illinois. So thank you, Lee. And last but not least, we have Senator Chris Balkema here, who, like me, comes from county government. And Chris is dedicated to working on property tax caps, lowering energy costs, and bringing transparency to the runaway spending in our state budget. So thank you, Chris. These roles and accomplishments matter. But if we want to have a bigger impact in this state, we need to elect more Republicans. And we need to elect more Republicans in the Illinois Senate. And that includes Frank Lesko, who is running against a Democrat right here in Springfield, in a seat we can win. So Frank is constantly trying to lower the cost of government right here locally in Sangamon County, and he's going to do it all throughout the state of Illinois. We also have a few other great candidates running throughout the state with us today. We have Vince Romano running in the 8th Senate District, Kate McGrath running in the 29th Senate District, and Brian Scala running in the 14th Senate District. I want to thank these candidates. It's so incredibly important that we show up for them now and every day through Election Day. Electing these candidates is going to change Illinois. But to do that, that means getting our message out. We know the Democrats are going to spend not tens, but hundreds of millions of dollars to distort their own economic message, their own failed economic policies that have Illinois lagging, trailing the rest of this great country. So that means we need to be showing up and making sure they can't run away from their record, that J.B. Pritzker can't run away from his record as governor of Illinois. It means raising money, organizing professional campaigns to get that job done. And that is where you all can be most helpful. When you show up for one of us, any Republican candidate on the ballot, you show up for all of us. Because every voter you drag to the polls to vote for any of us is going to stay in that ballot box and vote for Republicans up and down the ticket. Because I would rather have a Republican, any Republican, taking a tough vote in Springfield than a Democrat on any day, any issue. And it is, in the end, those votes that matter. So thank you for all your work. Thank you for all the support you give us. God bless you. God bless America. And most importantly, God bless the great state of Illinois.
So the reasons that the Republican Party is fallen behind here in Illinois, there's a bunch of reasons. But one of them is I think we were complacent with losing. I've equated it to almost like a Stockholm syndrome, where we just sort of identify with not having power and we fight over the scraps in, this little office or that office, and we just sort of accept it. We're so far away from the power that we just don't really have the passion. Well, my next candidate that we're bringing up here, he was selected, in my belief, in a large part because he brings the passion back to the Republican Party. We have to bring the fight back to the Republican Party. It's not just an intellectual debate. It's not just, should we audit the Fed or something like that. It's about actually fighting in the streets and in the alleys and actually taking the fight to the Democrats because they don't play fair. We're going to play fair, but we're going to play hard. And because of that, we need people like Aaron Delmar for Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you very much. It's exciting to be in a room full of Republicans here at the State Fair. I'm excited to see all the young Republicans that are out here today, all these young Republicans that came out, the next generation of the Republican Party. I had a young man come up to me and say, Mr. Delmar, I'm excited to be able to vote for you, but I can't because I'm only 15 years old. I got 3 more years. And I said, go ahead and vote. Nobody's checking IDs anyways. You vote a couple times. We're here in Illinois. We don't believe in election integrity. The Democrats don't believe what we believe. They believe they can tax their way out of it. They think they can push all the good Republicans to Florida, to Tennessee, to Texas by taxing us out of our own homes. As Darren Bailey and I go all across 102 counties of Illinois, our message is incredibly clear. Are you better off now than you were 7.5 years ago? You absolutely are not, and we are sick and tired of it. We are tired of being pushed around. We are tired of being attacked. We are tired of being taxed, and we're not taking it anymore. Because here in Illinois, we're running on 3 points. Do we remember Free by 73, right? The tollway was going to get paid off when it was done. That was 5 years before I was born, and we're still paying for it. Then they said we're going to open up and we're going to have a lottery, and that's going to fund education. We're never going to have another property tax again because the lottery's going to save us all. How'd that work out? Then they opened up 5 casinos in Illinois. That's going to go towards property and education. Didn't go there either. Then they said we're going to put slot machines in every single bar and restaurant and breakfast joint and hamburger joint in Illinois because we're going to fund education. And how did that work out? Then they said we're all going to get high. We're going to play kumbaya because weed's going to save us because we're going to tax it and we're going to pay for mental health. Where'd all that money go? $56 billion budget, the largest budget Illinois has ever had. And this governor saying he's making more affordable to live in Illinois, that it's safe for Illinois. The same governor that passed the Safety Act that doesn't keep anybody safe. I get heated. I get mad because I had enough. Have you had enough? Have you felt the pain long enough that you're like, this has got to stop? Well, that's what. The people in Illinois, not just Republicans, but Democrats and independents, they feel that same pain. They may not agree on everything that we agree on, but they're sick and tired of it too. But they want to be led. You know, I'm in Chicago campaigning, and it's not very far that I get where somebody comes out to me and they say, hey, you're Aaron Delmar. You're running for lieutenant governor with Bailey. Yeah? We're going to vote for you. We're Republicans. Well, thank you. But why are you whispering? Why are you not proud of who you are? Why are you not proud to be a Republican? Because you're mad you're going to lose some friends on Facebook? Who cares? They weren't your friends to begin with. If Republicans want to win, if you really want to win, we got to start being brave. We got to start being strong. And damn it, we got to be proud. I am not ever going to shy away from conservative values. I am never going to tell somebody that I'm not a Republican. I'm going to be proud, and I'm going to lead with it. And I want everybody in this place to do that. Because what happens? Look what Charlie Kirk did. He went on college campuses, and he got attacked. He got harassed. He got bullied. But he stood strong. He never, ever once backed down. That's a lot different from the kid that I met when he was a junior in high school at Wheeling. But to see him grow and progress, and what did he do? He got young people involved because he made it cool to be Republican, and he stood strong. He never backed down, and that's the exact same thing we need to do here in Illinois. You know, I'm sure a lot of people will never think that they're going to see me here on stage. I didn't think I'd see myself either, right? If you go online right now, the Democrats keep calling me DEI Delmar, Bailey's DEI hire. That's fine. I'm going to choke you with it. See, Darren Bailey and I, we come from different parts of Illinois. We're a unique team. He's a southeastern farmer, right? I'm from the city of Chicago and from the Cook County area. That's where you get the farmer and the Dell, right? My 10-year-old, I told her I was going to plug that one for you. But at the end of the day, we're under the same state. Doesn't matter which 102 counties you live in, we are still here, we are still oppressed, and we still keep taking it. But that ends today. This is over. We're not playing this game anymore. We're going out, we're going to fight, and we're taking our state back. As I travel, this is my favorite part of my speeches. Because for most of you that have been around Illinois politics, you know that Darren and I haven't always gotten along. Right? He used to call me a troublemaker from Chicago, and I called him a sharecropper from Southern Illinois. And we talk different. I talk fast, I talk loud. He's got that accent. Hello, friends. Right? A little bit different. But we joined together. We sat down. We talked about the things that were important to us. We talked about policy. But more importantly, we talked about faith and vision and opportunity. We put everything we said about each other aside, and we joined up. And through a baptism of fire, Darren and I became brothers when his family passed. They opened up their home to me. They opened up their heart to me. They opened up everything. And I understood by being with Darren and Cindy and spending countless hours going around the state, the character, the integrity, and most of all, the faith. Because you can't have that kind of tragedy and move forward if you don't have the faith. If you don't have that relationship. And so I look at them differently. I'm proud to be on this team. I'm excited to be on this team. I'm ready to fight with this man that I'm going to call to stage. Because I know that as unique as we may be, we have the tools to win, we have the tools to govern, and we can turn this ship around. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my profound honor and my privilege to introduce my running mate and your next governor, ladies and gentlemen, Darren Bailey.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's win, let's win. Thank you. God bless you and welcome and good afternoon, Illinois Republicans. It's a great day. It is great to be back to the Illinois State Fair surrounded by hard-working people who love this state and refuse to give up. Cindy and I have traveled across Illinois from the suburbs of Chicago to Cairo. We've visited farms, factories, schools, small businesses, and neighborhoods. Everywhere we go, we hear the same thing. Illinois is too damn expensive and it's time to change it. Property taxes, they're crushing homeowners. Electric bills are exploding. Groceries, insurance, gas, childcare, they all cost more. Now the Pritzker administration wants to hit working families with another massive toll increase that he just did yesterday. Everything costs more under J.B. Pritzker. After nearly 8 years in office, the excuses are over. I recently heard about a family raising 3 children here in Illinois. Last summer, their electric bill was around $180 a month. This summer, it climbed above $400. They didn't buy a bigger house or suddenly start wasting electricity. The bill just went up. Now they're turning up the thermostat, cutting items from the grocery list, and deciding which bill needs to be held off next. Governor, when parents must choose between keeping their children comfortable and putting food on the table, Illinois is not thriving. Families are struggling after 8 years. You, J.B. Pritzker, own this result. J.B. Pritzker owns the highest property taxes in America. J.B. Pritzker owns the soaring utility bills. He owns these taxes. He owns these tolls, the fees that are taking more from working families every day, and enough is enough. Nearly 8 years later, every level of government it suffers, and it's because of his unlimited power and his unlimited money that he has access to personally. No more excuses. I drive myself across this state. I pump my own gas. I shop in the grocery stores. I eat at the same restaurants. And I travel the same broken roads that you do and everyday people do in Illinois. When was the last time that Pritzker stood at the gas pump? When do you think he stood and he watched those numbers climb and he wondered what else in the family budget would have to wait? He doesn't and he cannot understand the pressure that we face because he's never lived it. J.B. Pritzker wants to be the loudest Democrat in the nation. I want to be the best governor for the people of Illinois. His priority is his political future. My priority is your family's future. That is the difference in this election. Can your family afford 4 more years of J.B. Pritzker? 4 more years of higher property taxes? Raising electric bills? More taxes, tolls, and excuses? Absolutely not, and you understand that. And to the members of the media covering this race, do not write this election off just because J.B. Pritzker is a billionaire with unlimited campaign money. Money can buy television ads, but it cannot erase a record. It cannot lower electric bills or help a senior afford their property taxes. J.B. Pritzker has been governor for nearly 8 years. Ask him why everything costs more today. Ask him why Illinois families pay the highest property taxes in America. Ask him why more than 40,000 people moved out of this state last year alone. Ask him that. JB owns that. The latest state budget spends nearly $56 billion, yet families still carry the highest property tax burden in the country. Only 38% of Illinois students are proficient in math. Families continue to move across the border just to escape the financial burden that we have here in Illinois. Where did all the money go? The political class always finds a way for pork. Just ask Carol Ammons and other political insiders. But when an Illinois family opens an electric bill that jumped by $200 or even $300, Pritzker acts surprised. Governor, you don't get to be surprised at this mess because you created it. Our position is simple. If massive corporations want to build data centers here, they will pay their own way. Illinois families should not subsidize them through higher electric bills. Illinois families come first. No more billionaire class. No more corporations. No more political insiders. Illinois families first. The working families always will come first under our administration. We will fight for property tax relief, affordable and reliable energy, and an end to automatic tax fee and toll increases. We will expose waste and bring accountability back to Springfield. You better watch out, Speaker Welch. We will stand with law enforcement and victims so that every family feels safe in the community that they call home. And we will make sure that every Illinois child can receive a quality education. We will support great teachers. We will focus resources on the classroom and prepare students for college or a career or whatever it is they choose. We will help them understand that. These are all affordability, safety, and education. You've heard me talk this since the beginning of this campaign. These are not Republican issues. These are Illinois issues. J.B. Pritzker will continue to call us names. He will distort the record, and he will spend millions trying to frighten people, just as he's doing today. Let him spend it. I have been attacked. I have been knocked down. My family has walked through pain that I would never wish on anyone. But through every trial, God has remained faithful, and He will continue. I'm still standing, and I will not back down. I'm standing here because Illinois is worth fighting for. Our families are worth fighting for. Our future is worth fighting for. Now, I want to speak directly right now to every Republican here today. The primary is over. This is not a time to reopen old fights. It's not a time to sit on the sidelines, and it's not a time to form another Republican circular firing squad. It's time to come together and unite. Will you join me? If you supported me from the beginning, I still need you. If you supported someone else, I need you today. If you have felt ignored, discouraged by our party, I need you now. More importantly, Illinois needs you. We must talk to the suburban mother worried about her child's school. We must talk to the senior who is afraid of another tax increase that it will force them from their home. We must talk to the independent voter who's tired of both parties but convinced that Illinois is headed in the wrong direction. We must earn their trust. We must give them something worth voting for. We're not writing off Chicago. We're not surrendering the suburbs, and we will never take downstate Illinois for granted. We will go everywhere. We will listen to everyone. We will fight for every vote. But we have something stronger. We have the people on our side. Friends, this is our moment. This is our fight, because this is our state. Together, we will make Illinois affordable again. Together, we will make our communities safe again. And together, we will give every child a quality education. And together, we will bring accountability to Springfield. And finally, together, we are going to defeat J.B. Pritzker. We are going to build an Illinois where every family can afford to stay, succeed, and be proud to call Illinois home. Thank you so much. God bless the great state of Illinois. God bless America. Let's leave these grounds today and let's win. Win, guys. Win. 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 Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Just as a little housekeeping thing, the day at the races has been canceled, but the Senate Republicans are actually having an event immediately following here at the grandstand. You're all invited to go there. Just one parting word. You know what? Showing up is important. You all came here. It shows you're more engaged than 99% of the voters, but you have another task, and that task is when you go home, you take one of these candidates or some other candidate and you talk about them to your neighbors and you get them to vote early. You get your mother-in-law that's in a nursing home to vote by mail. You get your kid that's off at college to vote by mail. We can track that. We're going to keep working on that, but we have to get those into the box. It doesn't matter that they're going to outspend us. We're going to out-hustle them and outwork them because the policies are on our side and the candidates are on our side and the people are on our side. Thank you all. Drive safe.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no, we're not going down.
House, everybody. To the boss.
Darren, you saw the dinosaurs outside from the Pritzker campaign. Just want to know if you want to comment on that. But they're saying on their website that you believe that dinosaurs and men walked the earth at the same time.
Yeah. Ask Fred Flintstone. It's a shame that he's doing this when Illinois is suffering. It's absolute nonsense.
But do you believe it, though?
So it's absolute nonsense. So Illinois is suffering with high expenses, with safety. Our schools are failing, and he is focused on everything else besides that because he's focused on running for president. Illinois, I hope, wakes up and understands that and realizes we need something different.
Darren, could Colin Corbett ruin your chances?
No.
Thank you. Colin who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
You talk about property taxes and utilities and other stuff you don't like about Illinois. If someone came up to you in the corner tap and or corner cafe and said, Darren, Illinois just flat out sucks. You guys talking it down are right, and I'm moving away. I'm moving to Missouri or Indiana. I've had it. What do you tell that person?
So actually, we're dealing with that right now. I've had a classmate of mine from high school text us last night, tell us they were moving to Tennessee. A young lady out here is moving to South Carolina. So what do I say? Don't change your address and don't move until you vote for us and get Illinois turned around. Everybody's got it. Everyone in this circle, everyone out there has thought about the possibilities living somewhere where the affordability burden is less. Everyone here knows someone who has left the state. It is a real problem, and it must be addressed. J.B. Pritzker has created it. He owns it. That's why I'm running for governor, and that's why we will beat him.
Darren,
Sorry, guys. Can you guys move back a little bit so this camera can get in?
About the billboard that was out here said that Republicans were Southwest. Do you have any response?
Why is J.B. Pritzker focused on Donald Trump? He should be focused on affordability, the property taxes, the failing schools. I think it all speaks for itself. And as for the website he created, you better believe I'm dangerous to J.B. Pritzker, and he knows it.
Darren, there are voters whose opinion will be swayed on whether you believe dinosaurs lived at the same time as humans. Do you believe it or not?
I don't believe anyone's going to be swayed by that. I said it once. I'll say it again. Go ask Fred Flintstone and let him explain it, because he needs to be focused and spending money on getting the message out on how he is going to make Illinois more affordable, safer, and fix our schools, and he's refusing to do that.
The governor said that he was going to participate in one debate, Chicago Public TV, I think it was October 13th or something. You put out that message today. How does that align with your expectations for debates?
He's scared. He's fearful. Why is he doing all this? He's scared to death. He knows the numbers better than we know the numbers. We know that this race is winnable and we're going to win. I believe he even knows more than that because of his money in the polls he's taken. He better stay scared, because that's the only thing that's going to separate us in this race is the confidence that we have and the fear that he has, because he cannot define or defend his record.
Respectfully, you didn't answer the question. How does what Jason said comport with your expectations on debates? What do you expect? What do you want to
I'll debate every day the whole month of September and October, and we've let him know that. So where are the debates at?
Did you agree to WTGW then?
We have not agreed yet.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Darren, but I don't believe you said Donald Trump's name once at the stage. You were endorsed by him last time. You embraced him last time. Is there a reason for the change?
Donald Trump has nothing to do with me running for governor. There is enough political divide. If I learned anything from 4 years ago, I want to unite people. And in order for that to happen, I've got to work with independents. I've got to work with Democrats. And I know there are a lot of independents and a lot of Democrats that they're pissed off of what's going on in Illinois. And it is time to fix it. So I'm doing nothing to creating any divide. When I'm governor, it will be me, it will be the taxpayer, and it will be the people of the General Assembly, and that is all the influence that we'll need. I will be working with whoever is president. And it's a shame that J.B. Pritzker refuses to work with Donald Trump, trying to get help from FEMA into this, trying to get the $8 billion that's sitting out there for our education. All he has to do is ask. Why did New York, New Jersey, and Colorado just receive the funding? Because they asked. But when they ask, they have to show accountability and show where the money's going. J.B. Pritzker isn't going to do that.
You talked a lot about affordability. what would you say to folks, maybe independents or maybe even some Democrats that maybe open to voting for you, but say, the tariffs, the war in Iran, raising gas prices, that affordability isn't just a state issue, that, federal impacts from, the Republican White House are impacting that?
So I'm running for governor of the state of Illinois, and we're going to do everything within my ability to bring costs down. So I would ask them, if they're concerned about gas, then why isn't J.B. Pritzker getting some relief at the gas pump with the tax? Governor Braun of Indiana had a tax relief for the month of July, and now he extended it into August. I would ask them, why is it that every time you drive across the border to fill your tank up at anywhere, Indiana, Iowa, gas isn't just 50 cents cheaper. It's $1 to 80 cents cheaper. Why is that? Why are our property taxes skyrocketing? Why does Indiana and Iowa have a 1% tax cap, and they fund their schools and they fix their roads just fine? We don't have a revenue problem in Illinois. We have a spending problem. And in day one, we're going to go to work and we're going to show where that money's at. And I think people are going to be shocked as we then see what we have to put everything back together with.
Why does J.B. Pritzker talk about accountability, talks about affordability? We're making life cheaper for people in Illinois. Well, August 1st, they raised the sales tax in the 5 collar counties, right? Yesterday, they raised the toll rate fees. How is that anywhere working to try to make it safer and make it more affordable for people in Illinois?
Last question. Your campaign took some funding from a sex offender up in Rockford. Do you have any update on where that money is going to go? And do you have any vetting process for donors that you appear with, those kinds of things?
Right now, anybody can go to baileyforillinois.com, and donate to our campaign. It's an automated system. So we don't check every single person that comes through, as much as J.B. Pritzker is going through and trying to check at every donor that we have. So yes, people can go there and donate. We don't know exactly who they're donating, but that money that came through, which I'm questionable about who actually donated, we're going to be donated to a charity, and we'll have that out within the next 24 hours.
One more fault. No, that's what I'm going to. No, I've never met the man. That's the lies that J.B. Pritzker's putting out. I did not go there, and I do not recall, don't ever remember meeting him. And from what I have researched, the man's not even a pastor. So absolutely not. I don't know the person. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Watch the court. Don't trip.
You put your background check and everyone gets your money? Can you go stop the people? Yes. Come on. You're ready. You're ready.